It is so easy to want to please everybody else and do all of these things for others. But what I want you to focus on is how can you tap into loving on you a little bit more? And I know we've all heard of the five love languages by Gary Chapman, but are you actually implementing them into your life? And are you actually using them to connect with yourself, but also to connect with God, right? When's the last time you prayed and said, God, I now know that my love language is quality time. And I now know that in order for me to best connect with you, that's something that I need to do more of. When is the last time you actually sat down and recognized perhaps that your love language is words of affirmations, and that perhaps that during your prayer time or your journaling time or your fasting time or your time with yourself, that you can tap into that using those words or say, God, I now know that my love language is words of affirmation and I need a divine download about the career path for me. Would you mind sending me some wisdom or guidance in the form of words, right? What if you actually utilize those love languages that we normally use maybe at work or we normally use with a partner and use it for our own benefit and for our own good to really build our own selves up, to really love on our own selves, right? Because when we recognize that quality time is our number one, or, words of affirmation is, or acts of service or gifts, that allows us to see, okay, how can I practice better self-love for myself? Because we can preach that all day. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. Okay, but what's the main question that people always ask me? Well, Tara, how do I love myself? Let's start with loving yourself the way that you would want someone else to. Because as I always say, we have to stop expecting other people to love us the way that we should first be loving on us. We set the tone, we set the boundary. So if you come and you approach me and you want to enter into my life as a friend, as a partner, as a collaborator, it's going to be easier for you to do that, right? If I'm already taking care of myself, it's going to be easier for me to accept you and to discern who you are, why I might allow you to even come into, my life force and my field and where I am, right? Because I'll be able to more easily discern who you are and what you're also bringing to the table, because it should be a win-win situation. But if it's going to be a win-win, then I want to know who I am. I want to know how valuable I am. I want to know how I best need to be loved, so that when you do show up as a friend, I can let you know that. When you do show up as a partner, I can let you know that, instead of being in a relationship with you, being in a friendship with you, being in collaborating with you and then getting frustrated and angry and upset and like, oh, I'm bored, or, oh, I don't like the way you're acting, or, oh, I don't like X, Y, and Z, but because we're not communicating, or because I don't know myself enough, or I haven't explicitly expressed to you who I am and what I best need to function properly and to feel happy in this friendship or this partnership or this relationship. So we got to make sure that you got to get you and you correct, me and me. Me and me, we got to be together. Then it's you and God got to be together. And then you can outsource everything else to everyone else. But getting you in order is super important. So if you don't already know your love language, I highly encourage you to go online. Gary Chapman has a website where you can take the quiz, learn your first language, learn your second language, and then see how you can begin to incorporate that into your life. If quality time is for you, then perhaps you need to give yourself more time. If acts of service works better for you, then perhaps you need to start serving others more, and inadvertently you will be able to love on yourself a little bit more, right? So go see what your language is, see how you can tap into that with yourself, see how you can use it to strengthen your relationship with God, because that is a key critical, pivotal, right, relationship in your life, right? And then see how you can begin to use that in all the areas of your life to make you a more powerful, loving, and fierce woman that people love to be around, because you're certain, you're sure, you're confident, you know exactly who you are, you know exactly how you want to be loved, how you need to be loved, because you are already nurturing yourself. You already speak the language. So other people around you are going to have to fall into your order, because you know exactly who you are and how you need to be loved. And I want you to learn how to be not only with yourself and with God and speak your language that loves on you, but I don't want you to spend years and years and hours and minutes in relationships and friendships and partnerships and following people online, talking to people, going to events or whatever the case may be with people who don't speak your language, or I don't want you to get into a relationship with somebody who refuses to give you the words of affirmations that you need and that you required in order for you to be loved. And I want you to be able to discern quickly, that means I got to go, because that is not for me. So tap into that love language and let me know how it goes.